Hello students, today we are going to start with a new prose, that is The Open Window by author Saki. Let's start with the introduction of the author here first. Saki is the pen name of Hector Hugh Monroe, a well-known English writer known more for his short stories. The author Saki, he is mainly known for his work in literature as a short story writer. He was born in Burma and he was the son of a police officer who was brought up by two maiden aunts in England. After his education, Saki, he traveled all over Europe and eventually followed his father into Burma police. He joined Burma police like his father. 2 years later, failing health forced him to resign and return to England. Means he was not well, so he had to resign from his job as Burma police and he went to England, where he started his career as a journalist. There he has done his writing for many well-known newspapers like Westminster Gazette, Daily Express, Bystander, Morning Post and Outlook. He died on the battlefield in France as a soldier in the First World War. He died in the battle as a brave soldier in the First World War. Now, he was a superb storyteller of the lives and manners of people in this period. Means he really nicely portrayed people's character through his writings. Saki is often compared to O. Henry and Dorothy Parker for his writings. Known today for his short stories, he began his career with a book of history called Rise of the Russian Empire, published in 1900. He was mainly known for his book The Rise of the Russian Empire, which was published in 1900. His first collection of short stories called Not So Stories came out in 1902. Besides his short stories, which were published in newspapers and later anthologized in several volumes. Anthology is a collection of the books where you will find several stories and poems. He wrote a full-length play, The Watchspot, in collaboration with another writer, and a short novel, The Unbearable Bassington. The Westminster Alice was a political parody modeled on Alice in Wonderland, and when William came, a futuristic work about an imagined German invasion of Britain. As he has written great works here, so he was recognized for his contribution to literature, and a blue plaque has been affixed to a building in which Monroe once lived. It is on sorry, it is on Mortimer Street in central London. Now, his works also include Reginald in 1904, Reginald in Russia and other sketches in 1910, The Chronicles of Clovis in 1912, and The Beast and Super Beast in 1914. The two collections of his stories and sketches, The Toys of Peace and Other Papers, and The Square X and the Other Sketches, were published after his death. Now about the story, children. The Open Window tells the story of a man with an unlikely name, Frampton Nuttall, and his visits to the country. Now, the main character of the story here, or the protagonist of the story is Frampton Nuttall. This person has is visiting or is on his visit to a new place where he is like a stranger. He doesn't know anyone in the place where he is there now at present. Mr. Nuttall is portrayed as having had a history of bad nerves and calls upon his sister's friends in the country to deliver her letters to them. Now, here the main character, Frampton Nuttall, is having nerves disorder, and he is suffering with nerves disorder. For that reason, he has come for the treatment to this particular place here, and as he doesn't know anyone here, but his sister, Frampton Nuttall's sister, knows few people in the new place here. So she has given him some letters that when you go there, you go and give my letter. She has given address also. So you go and give it to those people, and they will come to know that you are my brother, and they will be friendly with you. They can take care of you, and you will feel like staying there, because if someone goes to very unknown place and the person is alone, he doesn't feel like living there. So sister felt that if Frampton Nuttall goes to the some few friends places and he has talked with them, he comes to know them, he will feel like staying there that particular city for a few months till he is cured. So the story is an account of one such visit when Mr. Nuttall comes across a most interesting story narrated to him by a 15-year-old who has a talent of storytelling. Now this story is mainly an account of one such visit, means Mr. Nuttall has gone to one of his sister's friend's house, and the story is based on this particular visit only, wherein he comes across or he meets a 15-year-old girl in the house who narrates a story to Frampton Nuttall, and we'll see further what is that story and how what lies in it. The story which this 15-year-old girl tells was initially antagonized in Beast and Super Beast in 1912. This story is mainly anthologized. Anthologized means it is a collection of stories and poems. But here the stories and poem are based on one theme only, but it is not that only one author has written it, different authors write it. How your book, the Pearls of Wisdom, this book here you will have stories and poem written by different writers, different authors. In the same way, this Beast and Super Beast is also having one theme, but the stories and poems are written by different authors. The character of the prankster and the plot of a witty practical joke reoccur in Saki's work. Means in this story you will find that someone is playing prank on another person, and they are making the plot here, and very wittily the plot is being portrayed in the story here. When we go through the story you will come to know, and it is one of the, you can say, peculiar theme of Saki's work. The open window showcases the theme of telling the tall tales with the author's characteristic wit, irony, tongue-in-cheek humor. Means here the story you will find that Saki's particular theme, wherein you will find the person is telling a story to someone, and the person the character very wittily, ironically tells the story, and you will find humor in that, you will feel like laughing. So let's start with the story. The open window. My aunt will be down presently, Mr. Nuttall, said a very self-possessed young lady of 15. In the meantime, you must try and put up with me. Now, the young lady, a 15-year-old girl, is speaking to Frampton Nuttall, the main character of the story. Now, here self-possessed means the girl, she is very calm and confident in speaking. See, she is just 15-year-old, but still very confidently and very politely she is speaking to Frampton Nuttall, and she is saying, my aunt will come down soon, she is getting ready. So by that time you will have to sit and chat with me. You will have to spend the few minutes with me here. Frampton Nuttall tried to say a few words which should flatter both the niece of the moment and the aunt that was to come. Now this person, Frampton Nuttall, also didn't knew anyone in the city here. He has come with reference to his sister here to give the letter, so that she comes to know that she is her brother. The writer is, he is her brother. So she will be friendly with him also, and she will feel help him to feel like home here in the city. So he wants to flatter her, he wants to say some few words of flattery, so that the girl also feel nice, and the aunt who was soon to come to meet him will also like it. Privately, he doubted whether these formal visits on total strangers would help the nerve cure which he was to undergo. Means he was thinking in his mind that I am trying to please these people, I am trying to go and visit their places and speak to them. Will it have any effect on my health? Because he was suffering from nerve cure, nerve disorder. He has come for the treatment of that only. So he is saying, will it have any effect on that? As the main purpose to come to this strange city sorry, the main purpose to come to this city is here to get cured from that nerve disorder. Will it have the effect? I know how it will be. His sister had said when he was preparing to leave for the country. You will bury yourself down there and not speak to anyone. Means his sister, when this Frampton Nuttall was leaving his place to come to this new city, so the sister has told that I know what you will go and do there. What he will do there, he will bury himself. To bury oneself means what? To keep away from people. As you don't know anyone, you are just alone. You don't speak to anyone. You don't try to be friend with anyone. So the sister is saying, I know that when you go to the unknown place there, new place there, you won't do anything. You will just be in your house there alone, and she doesn't wanted a brother to feel lonely there. You will bury yourself down there and not speak to anybody. I shall just give you letters to all the people I know there. Some of them, as far as I can remember, were quite nice. So she's saying, so for that reason, I am giving you some letters with address. You go to these people, go and speak with them, tell them that you are my brother, and try to be friend with them. It can be a very nice experience to you. Your time will also pass. You will feel good when you speak to people. Frampton wondered whether Mrs. Sapleton, the lady to whom he was presenting one of the letters, was one of the nice people. So she is saying, the Frampton Nuttall is wondering, is thinking whether this lady, Mrs. Sapleton, whom he has come to meet here, she is also one of the nice ladies. Do you know many of the people around here? Asked the niece, when she thought that they had been silent long enough. Means now, when she told that my aunt is getting ready, so you have to sit with me only for a few minutes, so sit down. So they sat very quietly, silently for a few minutes, and now girl is feeling that from a very long time they are not speaking to each other, so she should start speaking. So she asked Frampton one question. She is saying that, do you know many people around here? She is asking, do you know anyone around here? This small girl is asking to Frampton Nuttall. Hardly anybody, said Frampton. Frampton replies, he said that I know only few people. My sister was staying here at the rectory. Rectory here means the house of the rector, means parish priest. So he's saying my sister was living there. You know, about 4 years ago, 4 years back, she was living in this particular city. She gave me letters of introduction to some of the people here, and he's saying that as I don't know anyone, so she has given me the letters of introduction so that I can meet people here and be friend with them. Then you know practically nothing about my aunt, continued the lady. Now she's saying, then I think you don't know anything about my aunt, Mrs. Sapleton. Only her name and address, admitted the visitor. They are saying, yes, you are correct. I don't know anything about your aunt. I know only her name and address, that also my sister has given me. He was wondering whether Mrs. Sapleton was in the married or a widow state. Something about the room made him believe the former. Means he was just trying to guess from the things which were there around in Mrs. Sapleton's house, that whether he was trying to judge whether this lady, Mrs. Sapleton, she is married or she is widow. And just looking around the room, he finally came to the conclusion that she is a married lady. Her great tragedy happened just 3 years ago, said the child. That would be since the time your sister was here. Now, what happened? When Frampton, he was just trying to come to the conclusion whether Mrs. Sapleton, she is married or not. That time suddenly this girl again says something. This 15-year-old girl, she's saying something. She said that only 3 years back, great tragedy has happened with my aunt. She's saying, and that time your sister must be there in this city. Her tragedy? Asked Frampton. Frampton didn't know anything. Sister has not told him anything about Mrs. Sapleton's tragedy. So he was surprised to hear. He's asking her tragedy. Somehow in this restful country, spot tragedies seem out of place. Means saying such a nice, calm, quiet, pleasing place, and I really don't feel that tragedies can happen in this place, Frampton is saying to this girl. You may wonder why we keep that window wide open on a cold October afternoon, said the niece, pointing to a large French window that opened onto a lawn. Now this girl is saying, you may really get surprised to see that the wide window is open in such cold October. October season we usually close our windows so that the room is warm and all. But here though it is winter season, the window is open here and it is wide open. So the girl is saying, I really feel that you must be surprised that in such a cold chill season why we have kept this window open, and she just points out to a large French window that opened onto a lawn. French window means a glass door opening onto the garden. Means in the living room there is a glass door which opens to the garden. It is quite warm for the time of the year, said Frampton. But has that window got anything to do with her tragedy? He's saying, I also feel that it is so cold and still I feel that it is a bit warm here. So it is okay if it is open, but I just want to know whether does it have this window, does it being open, does it have any connection with your aunt's tragedy? Out through that window 3 years ago, her husband and her 2 young brothers went off for their day's shooting. Now this girl is telling a story to Frampton here. She's saying that 3 years back, Mrs. Sapleton, means this girl's aunt, her husband and her 2 young brothers, they had gone for day's shooting. They never came back, and when they went for the shooting, for hunting here, they never came back from the shooting. In crossing the moor, they were engulfed in the treacherous part of the marsh. Means she's saying what happened to them. She's saying when they were crossing the moor. Moor here means wild hilly land covered with rough grass or low bushes that cannot be framed. So when they were crossing this moor, they were engulfed. Engulfed means what? They get swallowed up in a treacherous part of the marsh. Marsh means what? It is a low-lying wetland. When the person tries to put his feet on that, what happened? He gets drowned into it. So same tragedy happened with Mrs. Sapleton's husband and her 2 young brothers. Their bodies were never discovered. As they were drowned in that water, their bodies were never discovered, and that was the dreadful part of it, and this is the main tragedy she's saying. Here the child's voice lost its self-possessed note. Poor aunt always thinks that they will come back someday, that the little brown spaniel that was lost with them and walk in through that window just as they used to do. Now, very, you can say tragically, when she is saying the story, she feels very sad and her voice also becomes very low in pain, and she is saying from that day, my aunt, Mrs. Sapleton, she feels that these 3 people, Mrs. Sapleton's husband, her 2 young brothers, and Spaniel. Spaniel is a dog. It is a kind of a dog with long hair and long ears. So these 2 young brothers, her husband and Spaniel, she feels that they will come back. And that is why my aunt has kept the window open every evening until dusk. Means she does it till the night time here. Poor dear aunt, she has often told me how they went out. Her husband with his white raincoat. Poor dear aunt, she has often told me how they went out, her husband with his white raincoat over his arm. Means she's saying that she really remembers that day how he went out. Her husband, he had white raincoat over his arm. Do you know, sometimes on quiet evening like this, I almost get a creepy feeling that they will all walk through that window. Means she's telling to Frampton, this girl, the 15-year-old girl, she is trying to tell Frampton that sometimes my aunt says so in such a way that I also sometimes feel that they will really come back. We all know if the person is dead, then the person never comes back. But my aunt is so you can say sure, and she's so eagerly she's waiting, and she never allows me to close this window, that sometimes I also feel that they will really come back. She broke off with little shudder, means she started crying. It was a relief to Frampton when her aunt hurried into the room with many apologies for being late. Means then suddenly what happened? There you will find Mrs. Sapleton. She enters into the living room. She comes, and she, as soon as she is coming to meet Mr. Frampton here, she is apologizing. She is saying sorry for being late and making him wait for such a long time. So it was like a relief from to Frampton, because he really felt very sad after listening to this girl's story. I hope Veera has been amusing you, she said. Means she's saying, Mrs. Sapleton, she's asking to Mr. Frampton, she's saying, I hope Veera, this 15-year-old girl's name is Veera. She's saying she has really been a nice company to you. She has been very interesting, said Frampton. So Frampton also replies positively. He says that yes, she was a nice company to me. I hope you don't mind the open window, said Mrs. Sapleton. Means Mrs. Sapleton, she says that I hope you don't mind in such a chill season. Here I have kept the window open. My husband and brothers will be home from shooting, and they always coming this way. Means she's saying that my husband and my brothers will come soon from shooting, and they come from here only, from this open window only. She rattled on cheerfully about the shooting and the scarcity of birds and the prospects of for ducks in the winter. Means she was trying, she was very interestingly, with a lot of enthusiasm, she was telling about how these three people, young, this husband and young brothers, they go for shooting, they hunt the birds, they shoot the birds, they hunt and bring the duck and all, and how in this season they don't get good ducks and all, and which is the main season when they could get ducks. To Frampton, it was purely horrible. Now this girl, before Mrs. Sapleton's entry, the girl has told him the entire story, that they are dead, and she really feels that they will come. That's why she keeps the window open. So he is horrified now. He is scared now, Frampton, that this lady, Mrs. Sapleton, she is having really some mental problem here, and that's why she is speaking to me with that about that thing only. She is not asking me. Usually when we meet someone, we ask about their well-being, how they have come, how they feel and all. But here she has not asked anything. She directly starts speaking about husband and brothers. He made a desperate effort to turn the talk to the less horrible subject. He wants to just stop this, you can say, conversation over this subject. That's why he wanted to turn the talk. But he was conscious that his hostess was giving him only a fragment of her attention. But he really feel, when they were having a conversation, he really felt that when he just changed the topic and he was speaking on some other topic, this lady was not interested to speak to. Her eyes were constantly wandering past him to the window. Means her attention was not towards Mr. Frampton. She was not looking towards him, but she was constantly looking towards the open window. She was eagerly waiting for her husband and brothers to come back. The doctors have ordered me complete rest from mental excitement and violent physical exercise, announced Frampton, who, like many people, mistakenly believe that total strangers are hungry for details of one's illness, their cause and cure. Means now he has changed the topic, so he is just trying to tell her that the doctors have ordered him complete rest from mental excitement, means not to take tension and not to work a lot, means physical exercise and all, just relax and be calm and all. He is saying to Mrs. Sapleton. And he further says that, like many people mistakenly believe total strangers are hungry for details of one's illness, their cause and cure. Oh, Mrs. Sapleton, in a voice which only replaced a yawn at the last moment. Means when he was trying to tell her all this thing, suddenly what happened? Mrs. Sapleton, she yawned. Means it is a sign that she is not interested in what Frampton is saying. Then she suddenly brightened into alert attention, but not for what Frampton was saying. But suddenly he found that she was charged up and she was very alert now. And he felt that why this lady suddenly charged up. But so he realized that it was not for him to talk to, but it was for something else. Here they are at last, she cried, just in time for tea. Frampton shriveled slightly and turned towards the niece with a look of sympathetic understanding. Means then suddenly she just said, here they are at last. Means she was saying that finally her husband and two young brothers, they have arrived with the dog, Spaniel. And she's saying they have just come in for the tea. Now Mr. Frampton, he knows that they are dead. And when she says here they have come, so he got very scared, very scared he got. And he turned towards this 15-year-old Vera. He tried to look at Vera. The child was staring out through the open window with dazzled horror in her eyes. This girl was you can say a really very smart girl. She did not look at Frampton. She was just gazing with frightful eyes at the open window. Frampton swung round his seat and looked in the same direction. So Frampton also got very scared that they must have really came or what. Means he felt that ghosts have come. There is something wrong in the house here. So he got very scared, and with that horrified feeling only he turned his face towards the open window. In the deepening twilight, three figures were walking noiselessly across the lawn towards the window. Means he really felt twilight means the light of the moon, where he really saw that three figures were very noiselessly, means very quietly they were walking through the lawn, across the lawn, and they were coming near the window. Window is the glass door. They all carried guns under their arms, and one of them had a white coat on his shoulder. Means what the girl has, you can say, described to him about these three young men, how they had last time went. In the same condition they are returning now. They were having guns under their arms, and here her husband was having a white coat over his shoulder. A tired brown spaniel kept close to their heel. A dog named the spaniel means he's a dog. He was also there with these three men. So Frampton grabbed wildly at his stick. Means he was very horrified and he felt like running off from the place. So what he did, he just grabbed his stick and hat, which was kept on near the sofa there, and the hall door and the gravel drive were dimly noted stages in his hasty retreat. Means he just ran off from the place there. He was so scared that he felt that ghosts have come here, because the girl has told that they are all dead. So he just ran off from the place very quickly, and he was running so fast that a cyclist coming along the road had to run into the hedge to avoid colliding with him. Means he was running so fast that the cyclist who was coming from front on the road there, he had to just go run into the hedge, move away from there, so that they both don't collide. So he was running so fast. He was so scared with Mrs. Sappleton and his husband and brothers. Here we are, my dear, said the bearer of white raincoat, coming in through the window. Means they came through the glass door. Who was that who rushed out as we came up? Means his husband is very surprised. He is asking who was that person who was running so fast, and he was having such unusual look. He was looking so horrified. Yeah, and we were just entering and he ran away. A most extraordinary man, Mr. Nuttall, said Mrs. Sappleton. Means she told that his name is Mr. Nuttall. Could only talk about his in-laws and dashed off without a word of goodbye or apology when you arrived. Means he's saying he is a useless man. She's saying he only wants to speak about his in-laws, and he just ran off without saying goodbye or saying sorry for his behavior when you came. One would think he had seen a ghost, and he ran away in such a way that he must have seen ghost. In such a way he has ran. He has run away from the place. I think it was the spaniel, said the niece calmly. Now this girl, Vera, she is the main prankster in the story, children. She has played prank with Frampton here. She has told a false story to Frampton, and he believed that this girl, she's saying it, she said in such a nice way, such realistic way, that he really believed this girl. And afterwards, when Mrs. Spaniel came, she had conversation when her husband and brothers came. He felt like ghosts have only come, and that's why he ran away from the place. And see how very trickily, or you can say smartly, she doesn't allow the anyone to know that she has played prank on Mr. Nuttall, and that's why he has ran off from the place. And so she is saying here that he must have ran off because of Spaniel, means the dog. And she is saying again a false story here. See what she is saying. He told me he had a horror of dogs. Means he is saying that when before Mrs. Spaniel come to meet him, when they both, this girl Vera and Mr. Nuttall, they were sitting here. Mr. Nuttall, Miss Frampton had told her that he had horror of dogs. He was once hunted in a cemetery where on the banks of the Ganges by a pack of wild dogs, and had to spend the night in a newly dug grave with the creature snarling and grinning and foaming just above him, enough to make anyone lose his nerve. And she's saying that this one incident had taken place, that once he was hunted, he just fell into a cemetery. It is a land where dead bodies are buried here. So here he was just some pack of wild dogs came there, and they were trying to chase him. And in that particular incident, what happened? This person, this man Frampton, he just fell into the grave which was newly dug, and they all were just looking, snarling and grinning and foaming above him. They were standing there and waiting for him to come. And such you can say horrifying incident had occurred with this man, and that is why he has got this nerve problem. See, both she has fooled Frampton also, and now she is fooling Mrs. Sapleton also. How such a prankster this girl is. Romance at short notice was her speciality. Means here the writer wants to tell here that she really enjoyed making fool of people here, and very smartly she used to make people fool. No one came to know that she was trying to make fool of Mr. Frampton as well as Mrs. Sapleton. So here you can say in the story is about the young girl Vera, who is a prankster, who speaks a lie here, who tries to fool people, and the main character of the story, Mr. Frampton, is befooled by this girl. She plays a prank on Mr. Frampton, and he also gets horrified and he runs away from the place. You can find humor in this. You can imagine how the things must have taken place when they arrived, how scared he must be, then how he took his hat and stick and how he ran away, and he tried to avoid colliding with the cyclist. You can all imagine that and feel humor, and later on how she is trying to smartly fool her aunt also by saying the false story about Frampton. So it is a very nice story where you can read and imagine and enjoy it. Really, you can say a perfect piece of Saki's writing. In my next lecture, I'll discuss question answers. For now, thank you.